Test, test, test. 1, 2, there it goes. Bam. Check, check, check. Check, check, check.
I'm a fire in my laser!
today is a good day. I got problems, but I'm not in dismay. Got a few dollars, but spend that on cheesecake. But I got a father who will never leave me. I'm low in revenue, but I never knew that life would change up on me, go up and down like them levels do. And that devil dude, he can catch you too. Piece of the head with a force of violence that he never knew. Ooh, that's kind of violent, but I'm feeling highly serious like a Molly trying to start a new way. Get that drama out my new day. I don't need no drama, giving up for that to mama. Now I'm trying to start a new groove, just like the talking llama. And I can't do it all alone, I know I need my father. I'm swearing on the yo me, so girl don't even bother. Girl don't even bother. I'm swearing on the yo me, so girl don't even bother. It's gonna be a good day. It's good vibes over here. Ain't nothing take the smile off of this face. So leave the hating over there. I can't tell you how I know.
Well, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are around the world. We have interrupted our regular scheduled broadcast to bust in with a special edition of the Project Pluto Hour. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. This is the internet and terrestrial radio's only 1 hour devoted show of underground Christian hip-hop. And it's a very special day, a very special day indeed, because live in studio for the first time, ladies and gentlemen, EmtyHipHop. Say hello, sir.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Oh, I wondered what your first words were going to be. I was
is
like,
this English? Oh, my bad. Oh, shoot.
I was like, what kind of philosophy is going to knock out? Like his first words are going to just be just life-changing.
Oh, man.
Excellent. Anyway, if you have been any kind of listener to the show, then you know that we play a lot of Empty's music. My name is Pluto, by the way. You may call me Pluto. And if you do not know, I'm a Christian hip-hop producer. And I met up with Empty years back. Boy, it's been a couple years now.
Yep.
Wow, that's scary. We're old.
Dude.
We're getting old. It's been a couple years. I hooked up with Empty just around the interwebs, and we decided to play music, and he was a rapper, obviously, if he's on this show, a lyricist. Excuse me. I was told to start calling you guys lyricists.
Don't puff me up, bro.
Not rapper? What do you prefer?
I suck, dude. I don't care.
No?
Rapper.
What's on the business card? Rapper?
I don't have a business card. There's no serious business for me,
There's
bro.
no business going.
No.
There's no card. There's no business.
No.
So I hooked up with Empty, and we've recorded a couple tracks here and there, and we'll get through and playing them. We've never had Empty on, though, and through all the many months, and he's one of my oldest music friends, so I am very happy to have you on today.
Thank you very much.
And I'm sure.
Man.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure.
The way I think we're going to do this is I'm going to stop that talking that's going on behind us. Well, that's kind of like
Spanish music?
It's like a Spanish thing.
Oh, dude, there's a theme.
I told you that I don't know what I'm doing behind this console. I hope no cussing. Hold on. Let me. I don't know what's playing. Let me just play a beat. Okay, here we go. Okay, we'll go. Anyway, so I'm figuring the way we're gonna do this hour is we'll play your music. We'll sprinkle through your beats as you know, sorta, and I will ask you like personal, uncomfortable questions about your religion.
Okay.
And
make me feel as awkward as possible.
Right, absolutely.
Sweet.
That's what we do on the show. We like to get into the meat and potatoes of the rapper,
Sounds
lyricist, and see how they work. So, why don't we start at the beginning and just kind of like, where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Harbor City, California.
Oh, so you're a local SoCal kid.
Yeah, right down the street. Harbor City's tucked in there between Wilmington and San Pedro and Gardena and Carson. Man, that's where I grew up.
It's kind of an interesting neighborhood, right? It's not.
Yeah, it's
right.
Let's see. I'm gonna go live while you go live.
Are you gonna do the Facebook Live?
Oh yeah, dude.
Are you gonna hold that during the whole interview? How are you gonna do that?
My arms are gonna get tired.
Yeah,
bro.
you're gonna have to prop it up.
Not that. I dropped
if you were with us earlier on Facebook. By the way,
I'll fix this later.
Thank you to FYI if you're listening on FYIministry.com. Thank you very much. I believe we're also over on power1021fm.com, the Bridge of Diversity. This might be played later, so I'm going to give them the praise too. Not by Bread Alone Radio, which are my boys over at Picasso and Kingdom Taken. Thank you very much for having us today, and we totally appreciate it. Anyway, you were saying about your neighborhood.
Yeah, Harbor City, man. I grew up in Harbor City. My street was super nice, dude. It's a nice little neighborhood. It has its rough parts. when I first moved there, it was pretty bad because there was pretty big projects. You got a couple gangs down there, just in that whole harbor area. So yeah, there was gangsters around and all that kind of stuff. But wasn't nothing too crazy.
Okay.
Wasn't like South Central or anything like
yeah.
that. But
Normal home.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
You're just middle class, I guess. Sort of lower middle class. Is that kind of?
Yeah, man. Dad owns his own construction business.
That's right.
My mom does something with imports and exports. She does paperwork.
Yeah.
I don't know her exact title.
Sorry,
Mom. It's Mother's Day weekend too. I'm sorry, Mom.
Are you gonna see her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we can go see her.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So, you stay there through high school?
Yeah, man. I stayed there through high school and way after. I stayed there till I got married.
Okay. So that's funny. And so we're gonna talk about Empty's real job here in a little bit. It's kind of interesting and sort of one of the reasons why I wanted to have him in. But were you a crazy kid? Were you a troublemaker? Are you knucklehead?
Was I a crazy kid?
Should we get your mom on for this question?
I didn't tell her about this, so.
Oh no! Don't say anything that it's Mother's Day weekend,
I don't want
bro.
to flip around Mother's Day weekend.
No, don't do.
Man.
No. You don't got to give any details. You can just give me a general 30,000 foot level. Oh, this one time I cut this guy. No. No, man.
You ever seen that one kid on the milk carton that's missing? Yeah. Who stole my lunch money?
So you were. And they never saw him again. So, guys, we're a little different, me and Empty, when we get together. It's kind of, this is usually how it goes, so don't worry. So, let's just say you were an interesting kid. You had a colorful personality.
Yeah, man.
You definitely weren't the study nerd in the back of the...
No, I wasn't the study nerd. Like, I did really, really bad in school, which I wish I can go back, man, seriously. Anybody watching, if there's any youth watching, please stick to your studies, man. You'll thank us later, the people that tell you that.
Amen.
I didn't want to hear it when I was a kid, dude. I did terrible in school, really, really bad. I don't know how I graduated, actually. And but yeah, man, I was a jokester. Like, I was a guy like clowning on everybody, like for fun. I wasn't a bully or anything like that. Just like joking around, doing stuff like that. I wasn't too crazy, man. I didn't do like the whole party thing and all that. Nothing crazy like that. But I was just a jokester, and people used to get mad at me because. I talk a lot of trash.
You didn't. You never had to run from the popo.
Yes, man. When I was.
See,
here's it.
No, see, because you just got done telling me that you were like, never got into trouble. So I asked a soft, low-hanging fruit, man. I asked, okay, well then you've obviously never had to run from the popo.
Yeah, I wasn't a gangster or a thug or anything like that, man. I was. Actually, in high school, I do magic.
Yeah,
I've been into magic since I was like
I want to talk about
a preteen, man, right? So I was all into magic and stuff, and I just talked trash and had a lot of fun with my friends. But I'm also very big into art, writing, drawing, stuff like that. So I got into graffiti. I loved graffiti, man.
That's right.
And so yeah, dude. So it went from drawing in black books that you pass around, just working on your styles, and then I started doing it on walls.
Was that high school?
Yeah, that was in high school, man. So yeah, I was a tagger. I wasn't part of a tagging crew or anything like that. Some of those guys are pretty wild, man. They're pretty much gangsters.
Yeah. No, I mean
graffiti, right?
Right.
But I wasn't into all that. I just did it because I don't know, I was stupid. But I did get caught by the Torrance police, which is the one department that you probably don't want to get caught by.
They seem like they don't play.
They don't play around at all, man. And I was.
And Empty will know, and we're gonna get to that in a second.
I was painting on a wall with my friend in Torrance next to some railroad tracks. I didn't even hear this guy come up, man. I just heard this, hey, just like he didn't even put the sirens on, dude. He just went, hey, and I didn't hear no one walking up, and we were up this trail a little bit, right? And I turned, and there was a gun in my face, and this white dude that was like 6 foot ginormous, probably like 300 pounds, just manhandled me, dude. And I was like, holy moly, it was bad, dude.
Okay, so all right, well. So you had a little brush up with the law. Listen, who hasn't, right? We all have.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
that's true.
was there any church in your family back then? Any?
You know what? My stepdad, I grew up with my stepdad and my mom. My stepdad, before he met my mom, I think was going to church pretty regularly after he went through his divorce or whatever. So he had a little bit of background knowledge, but we didn't attend church, and I didn't not believe in God, and I didn't really care. Like it wasn't an issue. So but for some reason, my dad started sending me and my sister to a Sunday school at a church down the street from our house. So I went to that for a little while, and that was the extent of it, man.
All right.
That was the extent of it. So I had a little bit of exposure, very little, maybe like a month's worth.
Okay.
Yeah, dude.
All right. And that's that. You said that was when you were a kid. So nothing through high school.
Nah.
Okay. And so high school's done. What do you do?
High school's done. First day after high school, while I was in high school, I worked with my dad for his electrical company. I would help him out, during summer and on the weekends. So the day immediately after high school, I just went to work with my dad.
Doing construction.
Just doing construction, yeah.
And it's just how many years did you do that?
10 years.
Really?
Yeah.
How'd you like it?
It's not. You know what? when you're in it, and it's different because I was working with my stepdad.
Right. So it's better atmosphere.
There's a little bit of. Sometimes we would clash.
Oh.
And it's because we're so close.
Mm-hmm.
Like we can kind of go at each other's throat, So we had our moments. He's a little bit difficult too.
Okay.
Yeah. Out of the family, he's probably like the most difficult. I'm like the one dude that can like kind of talk to him a little bit.
He doesn't mind you saying this on the air right now?
Because I know him so good. He doesn't know how to work a smartphone, bro. We good. He's a big dude. I can say whatever I want because he don't know how to work a smartphone. You better not show him either, dude.
No, I don't. My bad.
You'll pay for the hospital bill.
Okay. So you work with your stepdad. You do construction. You do that for about 10 years, and then what?
Well, then I went to work at the airport because during those 10 years, I met my wife, and then
Airport doing what?
I was a what do you call it, dude?
Baggage claim?
No, I just forgot. There's a technical name for it, dude.
But is it?
I
is
just
it baggage?
forgot the name. I worked for a company called Atlantic Aviation. All the charter flights, all the private jets, all that stuff, they fly into there. They don't go to the normal terminal.
Yeah.
So they would come in and we were line tech. It's called a line tech.
Oh.
So the planes would come in. We'd bring them in with the little sticks.
Oh, you had the sticks?
Yeah, I had the sticks.
The glow sticks.
And then we'd take off their luggage. We'd put it in their limo or in their car. We'd fuel the plane.
Okay.
Clean the toilet, add the water, tow it, park it, do all that stuff, man. It was a super cool job, man. I loved it.
You'd park the planes?
Yeah, well, you hook it up to a tow machine.
Right.
And you tow it, and you got to move it.
Do you ever get in the cockpit?
No. Some of the guys did, though.
No.
But I was kind of on the bottom of the totem pole.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's very sad. I feel like I should have sad music.
My life says that Brian is watching. He works there. He went in the cockpit. He never let me go. You're mean, dude.
How many you got watching right now?
I don't know, dude. My phone trips. It like gets frozen.
Is it a new phone? Is it an
Yeah,
Apple?
it's a new phone, but it's old.
Oh, it's new to you.
It's like an older generation, but it was free.
There you go. That's
Take
all right.
that.
Well, the reason I'm going through Empty's resume is I'm trying to get up to you. so let's just say it's funny that he had the story about the cops earlier because Empty, and we won't give too much great detail. Empty is a Los Angeles Police Department deputy, sheriff, officer,
cop.
Officer. You're a cop.
Call me. Yeah.
You're LAPD, fool.
Yeah, LAPD.
You're the popo.
Whoop-de-whoop. What?
What?
Say what?
So
I smell bacon.
right. Well, I think that's a good place for us. Where's my bacon? I think I had a bacon. There you go.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. That's for you.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So what we're going to do this hour on the special edition of Project Pluto on a Saturday afternoon is we're going to play some of Empty songs, or one track or two tracks, and then come back and pick off where we left off, where Empty joins the cops. Yes.
Yeah.
Empty becomes a cop on the next segment of the Project Pluto hour. Anyway, mic in my hand. Tell me something about the song, really quick.
Oh, man. I wrote it. I was competing in contests at secular venues at bars and clubs, so I was just writing rhymes that sounded dope. It doesn't have a particular message. It's just I was just trying to make some dope rhymes to go and bring light into some bars and clubs, man.
All right, well, we're going to play Mike in My Hand. And if you don't know Empty, he's got a little bit of a different style. So, but if you've been a listener to the show, and thank you guys for listening because we saw the ratings. Thank you. You know that we play a ton of it, and he's a little different. That's why we like him. So this is Mike in My Hand by Mr. EmtyHipHop, and we will talk about his name and all his cool stuff and being an officer of the law and a Christian rapper. Project Pluto Hour, guys. Thanks for listening.
Whenever I stand with the mic in my hand, I spray saliva for my salivary glands all over my fans. In close proximity to any activity we're conducting lyrically, bringing light in the room like electricity. Whenever I stand with the mic in my hand, I spray saliva for my salivary glands all over my fans. In close proximity to any activity we're conducting lyrically, bringing light in the room like electricity. Whenever I stand with the mic in my hand, I spray saliva from my salivary glands all over my fans. In close proximity to any activity we're conducting lyrically, bringing light in the room like electricity. They're making fun of me for trying to live honestly, pursuing purity and practicing monogamy. The monotony of these MCs has gotten to me, playing with fake money like Monopoly, producing fruit from a rotten tree. Deny my Abba Father, we get sent to a lake of lava hotter than sriracha. This should make you shake like maracas. Unforgiven men living in sin, denying him should be shaken like Michael J. Fox and Parkinson's. From the day of your birth, no need for bad works. You were cursed by the man God created from the dust of the earth. ADAM, from AM to PM, condemn men try to please him by being moral beings. Whenever I stand with the mic in my hand, I spray saliva from my salivary glands all over my fans. In close proximity to any activity we're conducting lyrically, bringing light in the room like electricity. You're really poor, but you think you're rich. You're not a god, the only power you can tune into is 106. You're not going to heaven because you have a crucifix affixed to a necklace hanging between your breastises. We're hip-hopping, dropping doctrine often, watching hearts that were once hardened become softened like yogurt. We're not covert, we quote direct excerpts from scripture and biblical experts. In each verse, God is first. He reversed the curse of the hearse. We rehearse and work our words for the new birth. Not for fame or fortune, the Lord's our portion. We're scorching, torching any microphone we're approaching. Bringing him glory, using allegories in our stories. Ask Maurice, the silence of the Lamb was gory. Then he resurrected, I'm disinfected from my wretched message. The blessed me, my deficit 100%. Whenever I stand with the mic in my hand, I spray saliva from my salivary glands all over my fans. In close proximity to any activity we're conducting lyrically, bringing light in the room like electricity. We laugh at the fact Satan's a whack cat, tempting Jesus, trying to stop the blood flow like a maxi pad. Satan's defeated, some Christians don't believe it, read it, till I'm beat it. At the right hand of the Father, Jesus is seated, no longer bleeding but interceding for the believing, soon to be leaving, retrieving those he's redeeming, bringing us home to our mansion, while casting cats like Marilyn Manson in a lake of fire that's everlasting. But we're not evangelizing, it's got me crying, realizing men are dying while we're socializing. With outreach, with speech over hip-hop beats, unique, beautiful feat, it's the true immortal technique. I've been rocking the stage this way before the days Christian rappers would receive praise and accolades. I'd rather be like Joseph who feared God. When he was tempted, he could say I ran like President Ahmadinejad. I listened to what the preacher had to say about the Lord's grace, so I changed my way and rearranged my life like feng shui. I sit at his feet, let the word of God speak, put on a beat and watch the pen leak heat on the sheet. Our faith we work out like Jane Fonda, even Madonna would give honor when pierced by the double-edged katana. The Holy Ghost allows me to boast about the Lord of hosts. These gangster rappers and we're popped in a piece of toast. I hate it when rappers act egotistical, it's detestable. I should kick them in their soul. Atheists scramble the gospel like egg eggs at breakfast. I proclaim Christ resurrected to my last breath exits. I'm radical. I'll battle a MC with words more complex in the game of Scrabble and make them take a sabbatical. Dudes get handled like a doorknob when I swipe across their face like an iPod created by Steve Jobs. I made a profession for Jesus. I refuse to relinquish. There's a fire in my bones. The fire department can't extinguish. He transformed me like Optimus, working on my optics like an optometrist. It's obvious the opposite sex and not objects. My job is to fill your iPod catalog with teachings from the synagogue by the Son of God. These rude dudes lacking gratitude should review the Beatitudes. It can change the worldview and their attitude. Blessed are the peacemakers. Don't be a hater. Deny the maker and play yourself like a masturbator. Fake Christians don't walk like using the escalator. Once they get bored, they're quick to do a flip like a skater. Those in the faith won't skate. We stay in the same place even if we feel more blue than Robin Williams' face. I'm a reverend, severing the misconception. Mention that you can't be tight while rapping about heaven. Learn this lesson now. Step to us lyrically and get knocked out like Marquez punching Pacquiao. My crew runs through any venue with the Bible or two, telling dudes that Jesus died for you. That's the message we declare everywhere. Seek him in prayer. He knows your secret areas like underwear. Think you'll find satisfaction in sin, for a season is a lie bigger than Kim Kardashian's rear end. They tell me to hush cause I preach too much, but I invade wherever I want like I'm President Bush. Prophecy reveals that the Bible is real. God wants to make a deal like Howie Mandel. If you hate facts and step back, I'll attack the pack of gospel tracks telling cats where the truth is at. Content is lacking. Iggy ain't fancy with their dancing. I'll send her back to Australia with Hugh Jackman and the rest of her crew. With the doo-doo that they spew, they should praise God who flings stars like ninjutsu. Yo, we're so sick, she's like, ew. You know that Grammy don't belong to you.
All right, well, that was Optimus and Mic in My Hand by Mr. EmtyHipHop, who joins us live in studio today. And let me get a better song. I mean, not better song. That's Empty song. I didn't want to say better. I just wanted to get a beat on.
No, it's good, bro. It's good, man. Dude, criticism is what we need as artists. If you can't take criticism, you can't. That's what helps us grow and progress.
I produced that song. I can't.
That's what helps us grow and progress. A little self-reflection's all right too, man.
So that's another Empty song that we'll play probably in a break. Anyway, thank you for tuning in, guys, on a special edition of the Project Pluto Hour. We are here live in studio with Mr. EmtyHipHop, who is rapper extraordinaire, if you are familiar with the show at all. For those of you listening on power1021fm.com, thank you very much. Those on Roku, the Shoutcast, TuneIn, NBBA Radio. We're all over the world, Mr. Empty.
The world.
The world. Okay, well, right when we left for our break, by the way, those tracks are available on your SoundCloud account.
SoundCloud.
And Empty is spelled...
Bandcamp.
That's right. Empty is spelled a special way. Why don't you spell Empty for the folks at home? Empty.
EMTY. That's it.
Empty.
Why, you ask?
Okay.
EMTY. Why?
Why? What is that? It's actually EmtyHipHop, right?
Yeah, I
no,
like
change
for the page.
Sometimes
and
he changes
and
his name.
I change my name a lot.
A lot, man. This guy changes his name.
My page was EmtyHipHop. I just changed my Facebook and my Instagram page to Melodic Device because I think it's cool.
It is. Sorry.
But the name Empty, everyone knows me by Empty. That's still what I go by. But it's basically when I first started about 10 years ago, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, I was thinking of a cool name. Empty sounded cool because it's my initials, M and T. And also, you know, like John the Baptist talks about, less of me, more of God, emptying myself. So I just thought it kind of, because at first I wanted to use Turcules, which when I used to do hip hop, I used to do hip hop in high school with these dudes that were not in high school. These were like grown men, and they used to call me Turcules.
Turcules.
But then I was like, oh man, some of these if someone's like super hyper religious, man, they might like
They
compare it to like a Greek god or something. So I ended up falling on empty.
Falling on empty. I hear you. So when last we left you, you were going to begin your career in the LAPD because if you didn't know, guys, Empty's a cop, and he's also a Christian rapper.
Bacon.
Right. So there we go.
You guys can hear the sound effects.
Yeah, he's Facebook Living as well, guys. Everyone Facebook Lives now. When did you start rapping? I mean, we'll get to the cop thing in a second. What about when did you start rapping?
I started rapping way back in like junior high school.
And
But pretty much by myself. I would write. Just kept it to myself, you know.
who are your influences?
My influences: Wu-Tang Clan,
Whoop, whoop.
Cannabis, Redman, Keith Murray, Biggie.
No Christian rappers in that list?
Absolutely not. I didn't know that genre existed.
Okay, so you're rapping and you're doing your thing and you're developing your skills and you're doing a lot of secular stuff.
Yep.
You're doing secular raps? Did you do like gigs, shows? Did you?
Nah, it was all to myself. Cause check this out. When I was in high school, like I think it was about 10th grade or so, I had listened to Eminem when he was underground, right? You got Infinite and you got his stuff on Ruckus.
Right.
Right. So I knew who that guy was. He blew up big when I was about 9th or 10th grade. He came out with My Name Is.
Mm-hmm.
So right there, me jumping in any ciphers or anything, I just stopped, man, because everything was, oh, you trying to be like Eminem type of deal, right?
Oh, yeah.
It was like a super big thing for me. I was like, dude, I'm done. Like, I didn't want to be like
Instantly compared.
like this white guy's doing it. Now
Right,
all
right.
of a sudden, like people could say before that Vanilla Ice, but that's ridiculous,
Right.
right?
You're right.
But this guy's like legit, and they're like, so,
Okay.
yeah. I just kept to myself, but I write a lot. I used to write a lot.
Yeah.
And I just kept it to myself.
And now there's a ton of white rappers, so like it's
Yeah, they're
like,
all over, man.
Like it's like the cool thing to be a white rapper.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean that. Anyway,
Quasi cool.
quasi, yeah, it's like weird alternate quasi. Anyway, okay, so you're rapping, you're developing your skills all through while you're a kid, and so I'm trying to get to see if all these timelines converge at some point. When did you? I mean, are you calling yourself born again? When did you dedicate your life to the Lord? How did that come about?
Yep. So all right. One of my dad's good friends was going to Calvary Chapel South Bay, and he used to help out my dad with work and stuff. He would help us, and then he said, "Hey man, they're having this thing at my church. This guy that does pottery and clay, and I forgot the homeboy's name, but he does this whole presentation with a potter's wheel and with clay. His name is Michael something or other. He does it with his wife. Super powerful. So we went. He invited us, so my dad took the whole family, and we went. And then we started going to church after that. This is after I was out of high school. This was in 2004. So we started going consistently for about a month, and then they kind of all started staying home, you know. And I kept going, man. I was fascinated by it. Like I wanted to learn more.
What was it about it that like hooked you?
Just the message, man. If there is a God, did he really come down and die for all these wicked thoughts that I have and for all these things that I've done? Like, is this real? Like, I was just drawn to it.
So the gospel, the message of the gospel.
And I was kind of intrigued. And right when that was going on, some Jehovah Witness came to my house. Never came to my house before, man. I'm 20 at this time when this is all going down. And he starts saying all this stuff, and I'm saying, hey, man, I'm not really a church person, but I've been going, and they're saying this, and you're saying that.
Oh, so you got into like a theological debate with these guys?
and I was just more curious. Right. So I was like,
just asking
okay,
questions.
Give me what you got. I'm going to go read it. So I went in and I started reading it, and then I went to the bookstore, and I got a book, and I started reading this, and I just started kind of digging into it. And then one Sunday, I went just like normal. And the message that Pastor Steve Mays was a pastor at the time. He passed away now. It was like it's probably like 1,000, 2,000 people in the room. It's kind of like a mega church type thing. Mm-hmm. I felt like I was the only one he was talking to. And so that's when I went up, man.
Dude.
And then when I went up,
20, you said?
20.
20.
They send you to the back, like to a prayer room, give you a Bible, have someone pray with you, right? So I walk back there. There's all these old people back there, right? There's this one dude in a Kobe Bryant jersey, baggy pants, Samoan cat, walks up to me and he goes, "Hey man, what's up? My name is Rob." And I'm like, "Hey, what's up, man?" And he goes, "Hey, do you like hip hop?" I said, "Yeah, I love hip hop, man." And he said, "I'm a hip hop rapper, Christian rapper."
Really?
And he had like 3 CDs that he had brought. And he was like, "God told me to bring these." And he gave them to me, and I went home and listened to them, and that's when I discovered Christian hip hop.
Do you know the name of the guy you listened to? That
Yeah, it was a Prophet X.
Prophet X.
It was his mix. It was like 2 mixtapes of his.
Really?
1 or 2 mixtapes. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, he's right here in San Fernando Valley now.
Yeah?
Yeah, he does a thing like once a month. I think like open mic.
Dude, that's cool.
Yeah.
So 20. So you were doing construction still?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So construction, and you've given your life over to Christ. How was that in the beginning? Do you have a bunch of secular friends? Did you guys did your lifestyle change? Was it
You
all
know what?
weird?
That's the thing. I had kind of
Construction. I mean, those are real dudes. You know.
Yeah,
Men.
like
Manny
friends,
men.
friends. Like outside of work, after I got arrested, I didn't want to get in trouble anymore.
Right.
I got arrested when I was 18. So what I did was I kind of disassociated myself. I became like a hermit. I just go to work and then come home and stay home. So I really didn't have any friends. I caught flack from I was catching flack from my family, man. Mostly my stepdad for doing the Christian thing, because I was like
Really?
I was like full blown going crazy.
When you said he gave you stuff, was it like a lot? I mean,
Nah, just mostly like teasing,
Okay.
making fun of, stuff like that.
like the typical stuff you would imagine someone would,
Yeah.
your friends would do.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
right off the bat, which was kind of a good thing. Yeah.
Well, it's testing you. You know,
yeah,
it's
it was
to
a
see if you're
good
for
thing,
real.
man. It was a good thing.
Okay, so that's cool. All right, so let's fast forward to you deciding you're going to be a cop. And so, wait. When did you come? So when did you decide you're going to try to do the rap thing more seriously than just writing in your notepad and kind of in your room?
I was going around helping out Rob, which his rap name is APX.
Uh-huh.
And he was performing on stage with Cross Movement, and he personally knows Lecrae and Tripley and all these guys. When they would come out here, he would kind of organize all the events and stuff.
Yeah.
So I got to meet all these guys, and then Rob would do shows, and then one time after a show, he was having us like a freestyle cipher, like a bunch of kids were just rapping, and I jumped in, and it was actually a verse off of Clear My Throat, like the second verse,
Which
like,
we're going to listen to after in our next
like
segment.
the first 4 or 6 bars. I freestyled that in that cipher, and I wrote it down after because I remembered it. And that was the first time I went to freestyle for like anything church related. And I started freestyling, and then he asked me to be like his hype man at one of his shows.
Oh, that's cool.
And then he asked me, like, on the next show, he asked me to spit a verse, and then I just started writing and just tagging along with him.
Dude, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And that happened when?
Ooh.
Like, how old are you? When that was.
I was probably like, geez, dude, I don't know. I was safe for probably like a solid 4 or 5 years before that happened. So maybe 24, 25.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
All right. So you're out there, and now you're meeting some people that are cool and asking to do backup and spit a verse. So I guess the question is, what's the first thing you release? A mixtape? Did you?
Yeah. Release was The Way of the Master.
Okay.
It's like
Which is on your SoundCloud.
album, whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
So you guys, if you want to visit SoundCloud.com and look up EmtyHipHop, only it is EmtyHipHop. So EmtyHipHop on SoundCloud. Anyway, keep going. Sorry.
Yeah. So that was it. The Way of the Master.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was the kind of the inspiration for that album?
Ray Comfort's book, Hell's Best Kept Secret. I worked for Ray Comfort for a year.
Wow, dude, you get around, bro.
Yeah, I worked for Ray Comfort and Kirk Cameron for a year.
Did you
And,
really?
I love their ministry.
Did you work for Cameron?
Yeah.
How's he like?
Super cool, man.
Is he cool?
Awesome guy.
Really?
Yeah. Ray Comfort, most humble guy. Like,
Really?
literally, man. Such a powerful man of God, but he's so humble.
Cool.
Unbelievably, yeah.
Dude, that's crazy.
Super cool guy. Hilarious, too. Hilarious.
He's wiping his nose.
You want to talk about pranks. This guy can pull pranks for
Really?
days, dude. Oh, yeah.
A Christian prankster?
Dude,
Really?
big time. Yeah.
Dude, that's funny.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Okay, so it's inspired by that book.
Yep.
Okay, and there's a couple of tracks. We'll probably play them in a couple minutes. Okay, so you do that, and what do you do in ministry outside of? And we'll get to the cop thing in a second. You do anything else in the ministry side? Or you?
Back in the day, I was just doing like there's a cafe in our church. I used to help out. I helped out with the college and career ministry. I was plugged in all over in the church, man. I was there 7 days a week. All my friends worked at the church.
Okay.
So I was still helping my dad. So I didn't go full time at work at the church, but I was there practically full time, dude. Yeah. And then evangelism. Big time evangelism.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get to that. So all right, so not only are you a cop, and we'll talk about that. I keep saying we're going to talk about that. Not only are you a lyricist, a rapper, a Christian hip hop rapper, the evangelism, I know that you do this a lot.
Yeah.
You just set up shop.
Yep.
I mean, what you just set up shop on the corner, like a random thing? Or are you looking for events and like what do you usually? What's your platform usually when you do these things?
Really, like if someone says, "Hey, I want to go evangelize," we get down anytime, anywhere. You know, we'll just go to the street, go to the market,
Just straight
whatever,
to the street,
anywhere. But typically, for the most part, we'll get a group of guys together, we'll pray, and then we'll go hit. Ray Comfort calls them fishing holes. You know, somewhere where there's a lot of fish.
Yeah.
Right. So we
Some good hunting.
Redondo Beach Pier was a good one, especially during the summer. We like to go to Redondo Beach
Because of the homeless.
No, not too many homeless there
No?
during the summer.
You're
At night, just a ton of families go.
Okay.
So there's a couple little clubs there, nothing crazy. If you want to get crazy, we don't take the young guys to Hermosa Beach. Like we make when we go to Hermosa, we make sure we know who's coming with us. When we go to Hermosa or Hollywood at night, because these girls are dressed in like practically nothing.
Right.
So we go Hermosa, Hollywood's another one. 3rd Street Promenade's another one.
That's a crazy one.
That's not crazy, but there's just like thousands and thousands of people. So yeah, man,
That's crazy, dude.
whatever, yeah.
And what you just letting people know the word of the Lord. You hand out stuff.
Yeah, we hand out gospel tracks.
Okay.
We use it to open, man. We'll just pass out the gospel tracks. We'll pass out a bunch, and then if there's someone that looks like they're open or whatever,
Start a conversation.
Just strike up a conversation.
Oh,
We use rap sometimes.
you just rapping on.
We'll bring a boombox.
Dude, you just set up shop and start.
I used to do that with my boy Upwards. We'll just start rapping, get a crowd, open air preach, or just start talking to people in the crowd.
Now, you ever get any static when you're doing this stuff?
Oh yeah, dude. I've been punched, pushed.
Really?
Yeah.
So how long you been? Dude, what was the worst thing that happened?
When I got punched.
Oh,
Yeah, I got punched almost. It was
were you a cop?
It was I wasn't.
Oh.
Nah. It was like right here up by the throat.
Oh no, no win. You can't talk.
It was like an older guy. And I was kind of shocked, like, what? Oh man.
Dude, I'm sorry. That's horrible. Okay, well, all right. So, what makes you want to be a cop? Like, where all of a sudden you're like, dude, I feel like I should be a cop.
My financial situation.
I hear you, dude. That's
I ain't gonna lie, dude. Straight up and down. I never.
You're married and you've got 2 kids.
Yep.
Okay. And
so when my wife got pregnant, I have a stepdaughter. So when I got married, I had my stepdaughter. Then about a year after I was married, my wife became pregnant.
Okay.
And I was barely squeezing by on the rent. And
that was you were doing the airport.
The airport. Yeah.
So you say, okay, man, that's it. I'm gonna be a cop.
It was actually my wife was like, she saw like she saw a billboard and she was like, you should apply. I'm like, I'll never get in, right? My credits, you got to have good credit to get in. You got to have a clean background,
right?
You
can't be a graffitier, a known graffitier.
I've underage drinking. I used to smoke weed.
Oh,
right?
see now everything comes out.
So it's like I'm not gonna pass a polygraph test. I'm not gonna pass a credit check. I'm not gonna pass anything, dude. I can't run a mile even, right? And I signed up, and son of a gun, I got in.
That's the grace of God right there, man. That's God trying to get he's working his Christians into a different
It's the kind of qualifications you guys are getting, dude.
There's hope for you. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so your wife tells you, so she's cool with you being a cop? Because sometimes wives are...
She loves it, dude.
Oh, okay. That's cool. So she tells you to be a cop. You apply. Somehow, by the grace of God, you get in. Yep. You got to do the academy.
Yep.
You got to do all that. And you obviously go through the academy. Where in L.A.?
Academy, yeah, L.A. They do it in 3 different spots. Elysian Park. There's one over by the airport, and then there's one way out by...
Which one do you go at?
In the valley. You go to all 3.
Oh, you go through. Okay,
yeah.
Cycle through. So you get cop, and you go through cop school, and the wonderful day comes where you are a cop. And I think I'm going to stop us there and play a track, and then we'll talk more about that on the other side. You're listening to a very special edition of the Project Pluto Hour today, Saturday afternoon, but I'm sure we're going to replay this on Wednesday for the regular set of people. Thank you very much for listening on FYMinistry.com and Power1021FM.com, NBBA Radio, TuneIn, Shoutcast, all you guys. Thank you so much. We're going to play. See, the computer went to sleep. I want to play Sin Within.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you like that? Anything about that you want to real quick?
Sin Within is just a song that when I perform it live or when someone hears it, it's just to enlighten them to the fact that you might consider yourself a good person, but there's a lot of sin that's indwelling.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you evangelize, you say, hey, you think you're a good person? 99% of people say, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you got to explain the law and show them that they're not a good person. And that's why they need Christ.
Got it. Right.
Right?
Yes.
So that's what it kind of talks about.
Okay.
Yep.
It's kind of like hard love.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Here's Sin Within, guys, on the Project Pluto Hour. We'll see you on the backside.
Realize that most guys' lives are massive lies, but there's no sin you can hide after you die, and that's a fact. In fact, we're all being tracked. It's like God implanted a low jack. Don't believe in assumptions. Put your faith in Christ, because your good works will amount to nothing. He'll judge every word in your heart's intent. The sin's immense, it's intense. I suggest you repent.
He has a book of remembrance he will use as evidence, cause he records our sinful decadence. Death is your sin's wage amount. Dying is like a bank. You'll have to give an account, and the judge won't budge. I suggest that you rest in Jesus Christ's blood. All of the sinning that you've been committing, which is forbidden, will not remain hidden. It'll all come out in the open. You're gonna have to stand outside the doors like people that are smoking. It doesn't matter if you think you're good or not. It's your pattern of thought that will get you caught. Watch the wordplay you say, because on Judgment Day, the Lord will look through you like an X-ray. You may get away with sins while you're on this planet, but God will expose you like your name was Janet.
As you close your window curtain, I'm certain he's searching to see what's lurking within your person. The Lord sees all with the spiritual iris. Why you trying to live two lives like Miley Cyrus? We see in Galatians 3, the Lord will judge you and me for using profanity. Your intent is wicked. Look at all the sins that you've committed since the first day you existed.
If you have a thought in your brain that's profane, without trusting in Jesus' name, you will meet the flame. You can't hide from God, even wearing camouflage. Your sin will disappear like a mirage, it's a facade. Everything you do, God will see it. It's the opposite of Victoria, there are no secrets. God will give you the cold shoulder, cause a hard drive folder shows more X-Files than Scully and Mulder.
Jehovah will roast ya if you continue to lust over your poster of Anna Kournikova. The imagery you see on your TV from your DVD will ruin your Christianity quickly. Would you continue to view your CPU if Jesus was sitting right next to you? 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 22. Flee the lust that your youth would pursue, thinking you're good with your deeds, so there's no need for a deity. But he sees like the letter before D, sees like the chocolate, sees like the ocean, sees like the notes Bill Gates is holding in his pocket. I'm preaching like a prophet. God goes to the depths of the unknown like a NASA rocket. Are you aware you can't hide anywhere? He is everywhere. This is as clear as Tupperware. Calamity of our depravity is a tragedy which gave us black hearts like cardio cavities. The intent of the heart is where sin starts. It's evil and dark. We all miss the mark. You ain't hiding nothing. The time is coming when he will judge all men for the sin within. So put your faith in him.
Okay, guys, that was Sin Within off the Journey Through a Wine Pad. That was yeah, which is on SoundCloud. You can find Empty stuff on SoundCloud.
That
and
beat was
Facebook.
crazy.
And yeah, that beat is crazy. I wonder who produced
Who
that.
made that beat?
It's a crazy cool beat. How many beats we've done? We've done, and we've got stuff. There's supposed to be an EmtyHipHop album talked about. It's like a unicorn.
It's a never-ending story.
Everyone talks about it. No one's ever seen it actually, but
It's gonna be fire when it comes out, son.
That's right.
Fire.
We're gonna play like one off that new track. We're gonna play Barefruit before we get out of here. Your rapping style. By the way, thank you guys for listening. This is the Project Pluto Hour, a very special edition on a Saturday afternoon. Thank you so much for tuning in. In studio live is one EmtyHipHop, rapper extraordinaire, keeper of the peace, graffitier of walls, and he's joined us live today to talk about being a Christian rapper, being a Christian, working as a cop, just his life. It's just very interesting. And as you know, here on the show, we like to spotlight our rappers every once in a while. Anyway, your rapping style, I've explained it to others as, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, is kind of like a hell and brimstone sort of feel to it. Like we joked before the track, Tough Love sort of a deal. Mm-hmm. But I feel like it's like you're the rapping version of those old school Baptist Southern preachers that were just hell and brimstone, like you better come to God today because the bus is gonna hit you, and cool, yeah. right. And so no one's ever talked to you like that about that.
No, but I know that they think it. I know it.
So if you guys listen to Empty's lyrics, and that's the great part about Empty's music is the lyrics are just out there and they're just crazy and borderline edgy, I would say.
Yep.
would be yeah. So, but definitely if you talk to the man for 2 seconds, the guy's on fire for the Lord, and it's just you can totally tell. But his lyrics, and you're listening, is very hell and brimstone. Very, very. There's a great sense of urgency in your music, so that's today's cool thing. Anyway, okay, so you are a cop. You are done with your cop school. You're official. You have your stick. You have your badge.
Got my stick, my badge, my gun.
And so like that first day where you're like in the mirror and you put on the uniform, and you're like, dude, I'm a cop. Like that first day on your beat.
Yeah.
Like are you flipping out? Are you?
First day on the job, I was freaking... Well, because in LAPD, you're on probation for a year. So when you first start. So if you mess up...
Do you get a gun right away?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you get a gun. But if you mess up, man, like... if you're not with the business, you're done.
Yeah.
Right? You're done, man. But I worked... I did probation at Harbor Division.
Your hometown.
Yeah.
So you grew up in that area, and now you patrol the... Bro, you're a Cops episode waiting to happen.
And what's cool about that is on like probation... they expect you to memorize maps of the street and all that kind of stuff. I grew up in Harbor Division, so I knew all the streets. I knew the alleys. I knew the shortcuts. I knew the gangs. I knew a lot of stuff about Harbor Division.
You grew up there.
So I didn't have to worry about that part of it. I just had to be focused on, knowing my laws and all that kind of stuff. And the people in Harbor Division are great, man. Super cool people.
All right, so that first year, was it crazy? Did you have crazy experiences?
I had a lot of crazy, but you know what, man?
That's a hard area. That's not
I'm very thankful because of my training officers that I worked with were very proactive, man. They like to get into crazy stuff. So I got in a lot of stuff, man.
They weren't afraid to get dirty, their hands dirty.
Yeah. I got into some pretty good stuff.
Okay. So and you're so that year goes by and you're liking it and they like you and you're like, okay, I'm a cop. I
passed probation. So
So how many years have you been on the force?
It'll be 5 in December 12th.
And you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say like like a job's a job. I mean, but you're you glad you made this decision?
Yeah, man. It's
Yeah.
Especially where I'm at now, dude. It's pretty chill.
Now you're in Harbor now, but you were like Hollywood?
No. So I did my probation at Harbor. Now I'm in West LA.
No, you're in West LA.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know I've seen you on TMZ like 4 times.
Yeah. I don't know how I keep ending up on TMZ, bro.
Dude, I'm like, dude, that's empty. Like,
That's because all these celebrities live in
right.
live in West LA, and I arrested the lead singer of Puddle of Mud. that got me on TMZ too.
What did he? Can you talk about what he did?
Yeah, he just has some warrants. He has some warrants, man.
He had some Puddle of Mud. He arrested
And
the guy.
I had this dude in the car, and I'm getting his name and his information. And then when we get the information, on one of the lines is like, what's your occupation or whatever? And he says, oh, I'm a singer. And I said, oh, you're a singer? Cool. Or he said, I'm a musician. And I'm like, I'm looking straight at the guy, right? I'm like, oh, okay, cool, man. What do you like, sing, or you play an instrument or what? He's like, yeah, I sing a little bit, play a guitar a little bit. I'm like, oh, okay, man, like a little local band or something. I didn't know this dude was in this
Puddle of Mud.
huge
90s grunge band.
Yeah, man.
Like,
and I'm talking to him like he's some amateur musician dude. It was great. I didn't know who he was till later. I was like, oh man, I probably made him feel bad.
actually, I'm sure. I don't know. Well, that's funny, bro. Okay, so yeah, so I do see you once in a while on TV because you are in some key places. That's funny, bro. I didn't even know that story.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. All right, so with in regards to the Christianity at work, do those two ever merge? Is there an opportunity? Do you because you evangelize, man? You'll go up on some crazy corner and just start doing. Mm-hmm. What is that like at work? Can you? Is it looked upon? Is it rather not? Is it?
I don't know if you can, but I do it.
Okay. All right. You're actively just talking to anyone about it, and
I did it when I was on probation. I did, man.
Did you get in trouble? Probation?
Because when I was on probation, right, you're like under close watch, right? So
usually want to not rock the boat.
I was already, there's like different phases, so I was already like phase 3, which is you're pretty much almost on your own.
Yeah.
But like, you heard stories about back in the day when LAPD was like supposedly, well, I'm sure it was like super corrupt, like way back in the day, right? Like, or people, whatever, they say, oh man, cop planted this on me, right?
Yeah.
One of the things that I do, I would stop someone if they were good, like if they're on parole or something. You stop them, you talk to them, you search them. If they don't have nothing, I would put a track in their pocket. I would like plant tracks. I would leave a track in their pocket.
What do you mean a track? A track, kind of like a tracking device.
Track.
Yeah. No, I hear you, bro.
So like,
on the job,
I'm putting their keys back in their pocket, putting their wallet back, and then I'll just throw on a track in their pocket. When someone gets arrested, they get a little property bag. All the property goes inside of it.
Yeah.
When they get released from court or from the jail, if they get cited out.
I happen to know this procedure.
Right. You get your property back, right? I throw a track in the property bag,
dude.
so when they get out, and then not only the tracks, man, I'll talk to people. Like right now, it's called a transient detail. So I just deal with all the homeless issues in West LA.
Dude, that's crazy.
So
what's the situation like with homeless in West LA? Is it
very bad?
Is it like Santa Ana?
It's bad, dude.
Yeah,
it's bad. Like when I got on it like 2 years ago, it was looked like downtown LA, like Skid Row.
Dude.
But now it's a little bit cleaner. But there's a lot of veterans because the VA hospital's right there in West LA.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of veterans, and so I share with these guys, man, as much as I can.
What do your coworkers think of that?
No, they're cool. I get made fun of a little bit.
Yeah, just mild, cool. The usual
whatever.
Stepdad teasing.
Yeah, it's whatever, dude.
But you went through with your stepdad, so you're ready. You know, God prepared you for.
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal.
Whatever.
And I'm not crazy, man. I'm not out there being like I went on the streets evangelizing, like just.
You're more low key.
You got it. Yeah, I'm just like, hey, man, there's some churches around here. Why don't you go try to get plugged in, or why don't you read your Bible, or why don't you,
Yeah.
What do you think's gonna happen if you die? This and that. It's like super low key.
Okay. Yeah.
Just talking, because I know most of these homeless people. I've been on it for almost 2 years, so I know most of them personally, man.
Yeah.
So
you ever get any feedback? Anybody ever change any kind of on anything you ever like? Anyone ever come back and go, "Oh, I love you. You were the officer who arrested me." And
you know what, man? A lot of the homeless in West LA, they like me. The people in the station call me the transient whisperer. So they call me the transient whisperer. Like someone told me last week, some homeless guy got brought in the nighttime. I don't know what he did, but he was like screaming. He was like, "Where's Turk? I want to talk to Turk."
Oh,
and
no.
A lot of these guys know me, man.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing, but sometimes it's a bad thing because when they do something and I got to take them in, they expect like, "Hey, come on, man, we're cool." Like, and I'm like, "Nah, bro, you do the dirt. I got to do what I got to do."
We got jobs. We both have jobs here.
But for the most part, man, I just try to be as compassionate as I can.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, that's cool, dude. That's a great thing that God has done in your life. You know, you a position that you never thought you would get.
Yeah.
You know, and now you have, especially in this current beat that is it called Beat Patrol? Is it still called the
Whatever.
Beat?
Patrol, yeah.
Yeah,
Whatever.
but your area.
Yeah.
You get to talk to a bunch of homeless guys.
Yeah.
And try to see if you can change lives. And I mean, I think that's God's plan, you know, in one little aspect right there.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
we
fantastic.
try to get them plugged into shelters, and the shelters are able to get them vouchers for like
Yeah.
motels and apartments eventually. So,
Yeah. That's great, bro.
you know.
Okay. Well, so what? So is the plan to just stick with the cop thing for a while and see how this rides out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See how it goes.
Are you a sergeant? Are you a lieutenant?
Nah,
No.
I'm just a regular.
What's a regular?
LAPD is a P2.
You're a P2, so you're like
Yeah.
a private.
Yeah, you got P2, police officer 2, and then P3 is like the dudes that train. They got the stripes up here. They're the ones who
P2s?
train the new guys that come in.
Oh, okay.
And then after that, you got sergeant.
Huh,
all
it's
that
like, I
stuff.
was in the Navy. It's like petty officers.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna just work on this for a while. Maybe get
Yeah,
your
man.
P2 stripe.
P2 dog for life. Oh, some cops watching, dude. P2 dog for life. Homie.
What's your? Okay, so we're gonna. Dude, we gotta make a spoof. We can't do it because you're a cop. We gotta do a spoof cops show with you.
Let's do it, dude. I'm down, dude.
Okay, I'm gonna play. We're gonna play. We're coming up against the end of the show, which is because I could talk to you for like 3 hours, bro.
Let's do it.
Extend
it.
We're gonna have to have. We're gonna have to have you back, bro. But that's funny. We're gonna play a song off the new album that we're working on. We think, and sometimes we do, and sometimes we just make funny videos. If you ever follow Empty's Facebook feed, what was I gonna just say? Oh, tell me what's your funniest cop story?
Oh man.
Like, what's the? If you got to tell one story, I mean,
Oh, dude.
like, what's the craziest thing you've ever seen?
Funniest.
Or not funny, or just like crazy, like bizarre, like whatever.
You know what?
Like, it doesn't have to be the most
To be
violent.
honest, man, there's all kinds of crazy stuff that goes on, but I'm gonna be dead honest. I'm
Here
gonna
we
leave
go.
this. I'm gonna leave this right here.
Okay,
like
I'm
this.
turning off the music.
I have, I don't know if it's something I've developed or something. I try to block out as much as I can. Like most of the time when I leave work, like I can't tell you what happened the day before.
Is that a good thing from a cop?
I try to block everything out.
Just
man.
kind of just leave it where it was,
I
unless
just
it's
leave it.
Yeah.
I don't like. I'm talking about work right now with you.
Yeah.
I go home. I ask my wife, please don't ask me about work.
I hear you.
Don't. I just leave it alone, dude.
Okay.
I just leave it. But there's all kinds of stuff, man. You got people, man. You get
Like that stuff we see on cops.
You
Like
get
crazy
people. Like you get crazy homeless ladies flashing you. All kinds of
You
body.
get people think they're zombies
all
or something.
kinds of body parts. You get people saying they're Christ. You get people saying they're Lucifer. You get people.
So like, is that from drugs? You think like a lot of drug stuff?
Yeah, mental.
Yeah,
a lot of man, like 90% of the stuff we deal with has to do with mental
with
illness.
mental health.
And a lot of that is drug induced.
Right.
Right. The drugs kind of
Yeah,
fry
yeah,
the brain
yeah.
a little bit.
Especially after years.
Some of them just have issues and they don't want to take their meds, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we see all kinds of crazy stuff,
Sure
man.
do.
And,
Dude,
but
that's
some of the
crazy.
fun, there's like so much weird stuff that happens. You just kind of roll with it, and I'm a jokester anyways.
Right.
So I just joke
It's
along
just
with them.
part of the. It's just every day now. It's
yeah, man.
Okay, I
But,
hear you. Okay,
yeah. But honestly, I should have stories, dude. But I try to block it out.
dude, I want to do a ride along. Can I do a ride along?
You got to sign up.
Is it like a whole big deal? Like they're gonna check my background?
I don't know if they do that. I don't
Some
know the
running from the
process.
law.
I know you just got to fill out a form to do a ride along, and then it has to get approved.
And can it be with you, or do they randomly
No,
assign
it
you?
has to be with the sergeant.
Ah,
Yeah, they don't trust me like that. Bro. Are you kidding me?
but they give you a gun.
yeah, they do. But,
All right.
yeah.
Okay. Anyway, all right. Well, okay. Well, I was saying earlier, we're gonna end it, but I'm glad everyone tuned in. We're gonna end with a song off the new album called Bear Fruit. We are working on a new album. Unfortunately, this is not our 9 to 5s, as we have told you right now, and we're working on it. We've got a couple, like 3 or 4. And we need to find some. And
I actually
finish the rest.
haven't heard this one since we recorded. I haven't heard how you mixed it down and everything.
No, are you kidding?
No, I haven't heard it.
You've never heard this?
I never heard it. Yeah.
Oh, now I'm all like, I don't know what to
Oh,
do.
before we leave,
Oh.
if you're on Facebook or Instagram,
Yeah, please do all your plugs.
it's Melodic Device. I go by Empty, but the page, I like the name, so I changed it.
and
Melodic.
it might change next month.
Melodic, MELODIC, Device, DEVICE. Or if you go to just my normal Facebook, Michael Turk, and then you'll be able to see it on there because I share stuff on there.
And you're on SoundCloud.
SoundCloud.
Insta.
Instagram. I'm on Bandcamp. You can get both albums. You can get Journeys on iTunes.
That's right.
Yeah, man.
You like superheroes?
I like superheroes.
You like superheroes?
You'll see some magic videos.
He does magic. We didn't get to talk about. We need a two-parter.
Let's do it.
We're gonna have to do a two-parter. We'll talk about he does magic, and he's really good. I've seen it too. It's like almost Dave Blaine. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So we're gonna play Bear Fruit. Want to say something really quick about this before we get out of here?
Bear Fruit. Yeah, it's just based on it's a song about the fruits of the spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, gentleness, meekness, self-control. And it's fun. I like it.
And it's a little different as far as your normal beats. Like it's kind of a departure from your usual bit.
Yeah.
Okay, well then that's a good setup. Let's without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Bear Fruit by EmtyHipHop. Thank you so much for joining us today, sir.
I just got punched by the mic. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
And we will definitely be looking out for your new music. And thank you guys for listening at home. We're going to play this track, and then we're going to get out of here on the Project Pluto Hour. Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you. We're going to play this on Wednesday, so we'll play this interview again on Wednesday, and then we'll see you then and continuing Wednesdays. Anyway, thanks, guys. Bye.
Peace. God bless.
Every morning I thank my heavenly dad. This is the day that he has made. I will rejoice and be glad. My mind is consumed with thoughts of the Red Cross and how he donated his blood like the Red Cross. I focus like a laser on unmerited favor. It makes me want to savor the Savior. The fact that he took my place like a decoy has got your boy overflowing with joy. I see God's power. I'm like wowzers, now I have more patience than Doogie Howser. I used to be dirty like the back of my trousers. Now I'm fresh and clean like I just came up out the shower. Rather than holding a grudge and slinging mud, I can show love because I'm covered in the blood. People are like, wow dude, y'all produce more fruit than my supermarket's department of produce. Love, joy, peace, kindness, patience, gentleness, self-control. Submit yourself to the Spirit of God. Bear some fruit, it's good for your soul. Let's bear fruit. Let's bear fruit. Let's bear fruit. Let's bear fruit. Instead of getting heated like a fever, the fruit of patience allows me to shortstop like Derek Jeter. Instead of being an angry dude with an attitude, the fruit of kindness allows me to show some gratitude. Be not deceived. It is through the fruit of faith that I can believe in something I can't see. I keep it low budget cause I got no ducats, but he is rich in mercy to the day I kick the bucket. Sin is abominable, so I pray that he will fill my soul with the fruit of self-control. I'm always asking him to give me the strength to deny my flesh and resist its passions. Since we know that Christ rose, me and my boys act more fruity than those on Melrose. My poppy sought me, then he bought me. Now he's got me wrapped up in his agape. Love, joy, peace, kindness, patience, gentleness, self-control. Submit yourself to the Spirit of God. Bear some fruit, it's good for your soul. Let's bear fruit. Let's bear fruit. Let's bear fruit. Let's bear fruit. Now I bear fruit everywhere. I'm not talking about some apples and pears. I'm talking about love, joy, peace, and kindness. You only find this in those who serve the highness. Our happiness is genuine. Because we've been forgiven of our sin, we love to grin. I was a roughneck, evil, wicked Gentile.
Now I'm loving, kind, patient, and gentile. Read your Bible and memorize. It acts like a pesticide to fight the Lord of the Flies. Since the Lord moved me, things have been groovy. I get fruity, like a strawberry smoothie. The Lord's compassion is on me. So now I'm in the street and plant seeds like my name was Johnny. The fact of the matter, Christ makes me gladder. I can't hold it in like an old man with the bad bladder. Love, joy, peace, kindness, patience, gentleness, self-control. Submit yourself to the Spirit of God. Bear some fruit, it's good for your soul. Let's bear fruit. Let's bear fruit. Let's bear fruit. Let's bear fruit. Love, joy, peace, kindness, patience, gentleness, self-control. Submit yourself to the Spirit of God. Bear some fruit, it's good for your soul. Let's bear fruit. Let's bear fruit. Let's bear fruit. Let's bear fruit. Love, joy, peace, kindness, patience, gentleness, self-control. Submit yourself to the Spirit of